Viewers, we here at Republic have been exposing the misuse of office and the backsliding of standards of public conduct. Ever since we exposed Parambir Singh, Sachin Vaze, now it comes down to this gentleman, Sanjay Pandey. And it's so horrible, isn't it, PK, Jain, you know, that people who used to wear the uniform did all this when they were in office. So shameful, such crimes. Parambir, then Sachin Vaze, and this Sanjay Pandey. I heard that Parambir and Sanjay Pandey were questioned together. Great story, Shawan. Great story. Let me introduce everyone. Sanju Verma of the BJP, MR Venkatesh knows a lot about this. Sandeep Ghosh, former corporate, now political commentator. Renu Mittal, senior journalist. PK Jain, of course, and Professor DK Giri. But my first question is to Ajay Bagga, who is without doubt today one of India's leading voices on the world of business and especially the capital markets, and hugely respected for his expertise and his opinion. Ajay, you know, before we get into two sides of this and the scandal of it, what does this mean? You know, snooping going on using machines, indirectly bribing police officers, machines in the National Stock Exchange building, tapping of MTNL lines. I mean, what else remains? And what does this mean for investors?
Yes, Arnab, it's very shocking, and overall, this is what has been caught. So you just wonder what else is there. Co-location is actually a dark fiber where they were giving preferential access. So someone was coming to know the trades before everybody else and profiting from that. That is still under sub judice. Mr. Mahalingam at SEBI had passed an 1100 crore fine on NSE, and it goes back to the other thing that when NSE was set up by Mr. Patil, it was with lofty ideals. It was a great institution, but over the decades, it deteriorated, and this open scandals came in. And this, what you have today exposed, Arnab, is very shocking that phones were getting tapped. I would like to remind investors, this is not national. It is not owned by the government of India. Nearly 30% is owned by foreign investors. Indian public sector companies are big investors as well. It is a promoterless technical company. So never think that it is a government of India entity. It is run by individuals. And where the governance went bad was the board was caught sleeping. The board was not checking these people who became bigger than their boots, and they hired people like this. And unfortunately, what is coming out is that laws were flagrantly violated. Investors lost in the co-location scam, definitely. It has happened in the US where, discount brokers were selling contracts to other hedge funds. They have been fined. So much so, Arnab, that recently the US regulator has brought a rule that on every employee's phone, there will be now a monitoring mechanism that they have to put in, and they have fined $200 million to the 5 biggest banks in the world for allowing unregulated messaging by employees. So that will come now by the regulator, especially this scam will hasten the coming of that into India as well. Investors need not worry, money is safe that way, but it leaves a bad taste. This institution, Arnab, last year made 4,400 crores profit. Every time I trade, part of my fees goes to these stock exchanges. And if this is what is going on, this is how their money is being misused. And ultimately, it's against the investors, because if any investigation is going on, unauthorized people know about it. Anybody is looking at anything unauthorized, people know about it. Yeah. Trading, you are giving preferential access. So totally, it needs a big revamp, a big clampdown is needed on people like this.
Viewers,
Thanks, Arnab.
Viewers, you know, as Ajay explained that marvelously.